most welcome back to the e-learning portal of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders. This is session 10 of module 1. The topic is INCOTERMS 2020 rules. This is the latest version of International Chamber of Commerce INCOTERMS 2020 rules. There are 5 objectives that have been set to achieve by the end of session 10. The first is, I'm expecting that you'll be able to explain what are the INCOTERMS 2020 rules. That you'll be able to understand the important fundamentals of the INCOTERMS 2020. And those are the basic roles and responsibilities for both seller and buyer in international trade. And that you'll be able to explain how best to choose the right INCOTERMS for any particular contract of sales. That will depend on which side or which party you are advising. And that you would also be very conversant and understand the central changes between the most recent rules, that is the 2010 rules, and the current rules, INCOTERMS 2020. I hope fervently that you'll be able to explain the different possibilities available for the seller or a buyer to conclude sales contract. In order for us to achieve the objectives outlined, I have set out subtopics as I did in the earlier topics to help you answer most of the relevant questions that you'll be confronted with regarding INCOTERMS 2020 rules. They are, I would have a short intro and then we tackle what are INCOTERMS, the purpose and structure of INCOTERMS 2020 publication, what INCOTERMS do, what INCOTERMS do not do, changes between 2010 and 2020 rules, order in the 10A and B articles, factors for choice of INCOTERMS, how your choice of INCOTERM affects transportation, INCOTERMS and insurance, explanatory notes on each of the 11 rules, and finally caution with variants of INCOTERM rules. There are 12 subtopics in all. To start with, I would say sale of goods, whether this is domestic or international, is a risky venture. Because whilst the seller may be concerned with the risk associated with non-payment by buyer after physical release of goods, the buyer, on the other hand, may also be concerned with the quality, quantity, and conditions of goods on arrival at destination. There's also the risk associated with all modes of transport. That cannot be overemphasized here. And then there are also breaches in contract of sales. These are quite common. There are real risks associated with sales, and I've listed some of them here. They are related to import and export regulations, delay or non-payment of invoices, insolvency of the buyer. By the time the goods arrive, they are insolvent, delays at the ports, which may be due to institutional, technical, or other reasons. It could also relate to wrong, invalid documentations, failure to comply the correct product in accordance with the sales contract, risk associated with the mode of transport, including handling, loading and unloading, political risk. There may be coup d'etat in still some of the third world countries, decrease, security-related matters, industrial strikes and actions, so forth and so on. These are all risks associated with sales. And then there are risks under sales law. A party to the contract of sale bears the risk if the goods are lost or damaged without the fault of either party to the contract of sales. And remember, damage or loss can be accidental or caused by third parties. In managing risk under sales law, as I've just mentioned, what you do is, and what is recommended is, within the negotiation of the sales contract, the seller and buyer must decide on how the risks involved, the obligations and costs will be apportioned between the two parties. One surest way of doing this is the selection of what we call INCOTERMS, and then having the INCOTERMS incorporated in the contract of sales. Then the question arises, what are INCOTERMS? INCOTERMS are internationally accepted commercial trade terms developed by International Chamber of Commerce. They were first developed in 1936, and they have evolved and have been subjected to various reviews. The most current edition is the INCOTERMS 2020 rules that we're dealing with now. In fact, INCOTERMS were developed to assist sellers and buyers by incorporating them in contract of sale. They are not laws. They are just rules.